My name is Emily, and I am 3/4 away from 5.5.
One of our favorite stories here at Texas Scottish Rite Hospital is that of young Emily Spaulding, a remarkable and articulate 5-year-old. Today, many have asked, how's Emily doing now? What is she up to? How is her scoliosis? We're happy to bring you a new conversation with Emily, who is now 13 and still a very special young lady.
Well, for the most part, what I remember, we were coming up here every 4 months for checkups, for surgeries, this was my second home, basically. We were up here all the time.
Do you have any questions for me?
Emily's treatment was very intense. Her curvature started off extreme at birth. It was 55 degrees.
Usually when I have surgery, I am first on the list.
I've had 33 surgeries, and so that has definitely made me more used to hospitals and surgeries and operating rooms and all that kind of stuff.
And this, remember when times we did the CT scan and we measured your lungs? Because that's why we're growing those rods, is so we can grow those lungs. Scoliosis in younger patients, patients less than 4, is a much more difficult condition to treat. These patients, their scoliosis actually makes their pulmonary cavity or their chest cavity short, and it grows crooked instead of upright. And so for these patients, scoliosis is really potentially a life-threatening condition.
We went to some other medical facilities trying to find help. The scoliosis was so extreme that she did have some balancing issues. Between birth and the time that we actually came to Scottish Rite, it was over 100 degrees.
And she's 14 months and she weighs 14 pounds. And so this, early onset malignant scoliosis is a completely different kettle of fish than what everybody else thinks about scoliosis. And
my mom and dad have told me that we went to Lubbock, we went to Houston, we went to other hospitals here in Dallas, Fort Worth.
And finally, we just found this hospital, and I just decided this one's good. I want to stay here forever. That's just the way it went.
Like I said, we searched and searched and searched.
We were having a difficult time finding help. And once we got here, it just all started falling into place.
Leaning into the curve, into the turn.
We've seen other doctors and been to other hospitals, and it's just not the same.
Okay.
Do you think you can handle this?
I think I can handle this.
Okay.
Everyone, every person that works at this hospital is so genuine and nice and just loving to their patients.
Goodness gracious, you're beautiful.
When I walk in, people know me by name. I can walk into the clinic and they say, "Oh, Emily Spaulding, I'll call Dr. Atchin for you."
They'll make you do a project though.
It's amazing to know that they know me by person, and so that has been an awesome experience.
Our first encounter at Scottish Rite Hospital was pretty intense. We had a lot of information to take in, and she was so tiny with such a big curve that we were nervous about the treatment that was recommended, which was halo traction.
I know my mom and dad were panicked when they found out that I was going to have to be in halo traction. They did not want to put me through it, and there was actually another families here that said, "You need to do that, it will work, I promise you," and so we did, and look where I am.
She actually preferred halo traction over wearing a brace. And so we did that several times, and then we went into growing rods, and we did that for several years also.
Well, I remember at the very end of my treatment, my doctor said that I was too big for the growing rods that I had, but I was also too small for the next size up.
And so as the children get older and approach adolescence, we often will stop lengthening.
And so he at that point knew we didn't have a lot of time left in a growing rod. And so we had to kind of talk and make a decision about, do we want to try a bigger growing rod for a couple of years?
And in Emily's case, because she had had a couple instances where the rods had broken, we went in and did what we call definitive fusion.
It was a 10-hour surgery, and they fused my spine front and back and put permanent rods in. But if you look at me now, I'm very straight again.
It's worked wonderfully, and we've not had any trouble with that.
How you been?
Hi, good, great. It was hard to go through 10 years of 33 surgeries, but it taught me to never give up.
Dr. Rathjen has released her to do anything that she wants to do.
I didn't know where to start, and so I said, well, what about climbing? Do it. What about running? Do it. Golf? Do it. Everything I said, he said, do it.
She doesn't really have any limitations now, so we just kind of have to wait and see what she feels comfortable trying. We like to fish and do a lot of outdoors things. And she does love to ride, and she's naturally graceful on a horse.
How are you?
I'm good.
Can I give you a hug?
Emily has been a part of this early onset scoliosis, research group since she was very small.
Our number one quest is to understand what causes scoliosis in its different forms. Emily's case has always been intriguing and puzzling because here is this bright, beautiful young lady who had this very severe scoliosis at the beginning of life, and we didn't have an explanation for that. And we always wanted an explanation, but the difficulty was that she was the only member of her family with this issue, so we didn't have a basis of comparison.
We also are a part of another study that involves the genetic side of the things that she's involved in, like the UPD14 part.
Her family was just wonderful. They really stepped up and said, sure, we want to help. And every one of them literally came up here and rolled up their sleeves. Even little brother came up who doesn't have scoliosis, and they gave us a blood sample. We found a change on chromosome 14 in you that explains your scoliosis. We know that for sure.
Right.
We also know that it's not in other members of your family, and we know that it's something that is not likely for you to pass on. So that's a kind of unique genetic change, but it's good in a sense that we know it's probably stops here and will not be passed on.
Right. So how?
But today we're meeting with the Movement Science Lab to start another study that focuses on oxygenation of patients that have scoliosis and how well their body oxygenates and uses the oxygen that they take in, and do they have enough air function and lung function to do normal physical activities. And she just enjoys being able to share her experience with other people so much that she's really good at it. The first video that we made with Emily was such a unique experience, and it was something that we were very proud of.
I just remember thinking to myself, man, I'm really ready for this video. And then I watched it and I said so silly things.
Closer to 6, but I'm not quite there yet.
It's like, well, I want to get over with it by the time I'm in college, and I'm almost quite there to 6, and just kind of that stuff to me right now, it's like, that's so silly.
Who's your doctor when you come to Scottish Rite?
You
What am I like?
are fun
Why am I fun?
because you laugh all the time.
Emily and her family continue, really to be a blessing to so many of us here at Scottish Rite. The way that they have dealt with a really severe condition and served as, peer support for other patients and as ambassadors and representatives and supporters of the hospital and all that we stand for in caring for our patients has just been phenomenal. And so, one of the great joys of this job is the bond that we form with patients and their families. And I treasure my relationship with the Spaldings and look forward to all the exciting things that that we'll do together and separately, and sharing our joys and triumphs. I think that as so much of what we talk about here at the hospital is that we're a family and that we become an extended family to help one another. And I think this is just a wonderful, glowing example of that.
You're an amazing young woman now.
Texas Scottish Rite Hospital for Children, making dreams possible.